Amy!
Dad?
My daughter didn't seem particularly pleased by my unexpected visit. A faint crease of worry lingered between her brows as she alternated between polite small talk and urgent phone calls. At dinner, my son-in-law rushed home and the couple put on a show of perfect harmony in front of me. But the tension between my grandson and his father was palpable, sharp words, exchanged like daggers, leaving my daughter caught in the middle, visibly uncomfortable. I'd hoped to stay with him a few more days, but Amy kept finding reasons to decline work demands, the children's studies, one excuse after another. I didn't press further and decided to move on to my next stop. The next morning, before leaving, I asked to take a family photo. My grandson refused to stand next to his father, and their forced smiles looked more like grimaces. Watching them, my heart ached. Finally, I couldn't hold back any longer.
You happy?
What do you mean?
You happy?
Yeah, of course I am.
I left another letter behind and walked away. My next stop was the orchestra where my youngest son Robert worked. Standing outside the theater, I proudly pointed to the conductor on the poster and asked a passerby to take my picture in front of it. Then, dragging my suitcase behind me, I headed straight for the rehearsal hall. When my son spotted me in the audience, his face froze mid. I wanted to stay and watch my son's performance, but Robert said the next show was scheduled in Europe and he didn't have time for me. With no other choice, I had to say goodbye to my son. Unnoticed, he left that letter on the drum. When I arrived at the station, my youngest daughter Lucy had been waiting for me for a long time. She was still that adorable little girl, but her lifestyle seemed as lavish as her older sister's. The car that picked me up was a stretch Lincoln limousine, and we stayed in a high-end apartment in the city center. Just as Lucy was showing me around, a neighbor suddenly knocked on the door. She claimed she had an urgent matter to attend to and asked Lucy to babysit for her. That night I took the last bit of powdered medicine I had left. Just then the phone in the study kept ringing incessant. By chance I overheard the voicemail.
It's me. Look, I need the apartment back sooner than I thought. So call me.
That was when I realized the apartment wasn't my daughter's. Not wanting to trouble Lucy any further, I decided to go home first thing in the morning. I also gave Lucy a letter. Due to the shortage of medication, I had no choice but to risk flying home. Unexpectedly, the plane encountered a thunderstorm mid-flight. My old illness flared up and I collapsed unconscious in the restroom. During that time, I had a long dream. Granted, the children were still their younger selves. They told me, "We're doing just fine," but I already knew it wasn't true. When I opened my eyes, I saw 3 of them gathered around my hospital bed, but my eldest son, David, was still missing. Under my relentless questioning, they finally revealed the truth. David had faced too many hardships of this. He hadn't been happy, and after their mother passed away, his grief only deepened. In the end, he chose to leave this world. I never imagined that my high expectations for him would become the slow poison of his life. Christmas soon arrived once again. I went to the supermarket to shop. Only this time, all the children came home as they'd promised.